Hokidemi, shaping professionals for a better future.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hokidemi. Now, this will be a lecture series consisting of total 5 videos in which we will discuss in very detail about the different types of mega projects, the teams involved in it, and what different roles, functions and responsibilities all the members of these teams carry out. So, if we talk about a medium scale project or a small scale project, then the standard structure of the bifurcation of these teams is mainly divided into 5 categories, which will be first the client team or the PMC team. The second will be the architect and interior designers team. The third will be the engineering design consultant team. The fourth will be the contractor team. And lastly, we have the supplier or vendor team. Now, all of these teams will work in coordination with each other during the different stages of the entire project or during the entire run of the project, and they will work in harmony and coordinate with each other at different successive points in that project. Now, if we talk about the large scale projects, then these 5 teams are condensed into a 3 team structure. So firstly, we have the client team as usual, then the architects and designers team. Now the rest of the 3 teams, that is the engineering consulting team, the contractor team and the supplier vendor team, they will act as one team called a EPC unit, the engineering procurement construction team. And we have examples for that like L&T, then Tata Consultancy and Engineering Services. So these are the examples of EPC firms. So these will be the structure in very high scale or mega scale or large scale projects. Now there are various kinds of roles and functions that all these teams perform, like financing, auditing, licensing. Then we have the purchasing of different equipments, their installation, the designing of entire project, and the designing also includes the conceptual plans. Then we have the engineering design. In engineering also there are many more bifurcations inside it. Then we have the different supply, installation, testing and commissioning of different kinds of equipments, machineries, etc. We have the different execution of services. Then the contractors will come in at different stages. Then we'll have the handing over or commissioning of the project or any kind of service. So all these functions have to be performed at a specific time in the project, and we will discuss in detail in these upcoming 5 videos that which task has to be performed at which point of time, who will perform it, and what are the data needed in order to do that task efficiently and on time within the given cost of the project.
Hokidemi, shaping professionals for a better future.
Next, we have the project team roles for the supplier or manufacturer company. This is the 5th and the last category that we are discussing in the 5 module series of our videos, that is the project team roles. We have the supplier or manufacturer company. So the supplier and manufacturers team is mainly divided into 5 different parts. That is, first we have the project coordinators, then the process and design engineers. Third category we have the supervisors and technicians. Fourth, purchase and contract engineers. And finally we have erection and commissioning engineers. So we'll look into detail the roles of the suppliers or manufacturers here. So firstly, we have the process design as per the client requirements. Now, depending upon the type of factory or type of industry that we are planning or going to design, a lot different types of processes are involved. It can be ranging from a rolling mill to a pharmaceutical company. In pharma also there are many subdivisions like LVP, SVP, vials, etc. Many more. It can be a mechanical equipment company. It can be a car producing company. Anything. So very different types of process machineries are needed. So, depending upon the requirements of the client, the supplier or manufacturer designs the entire process machineries which caters to their specific needs. Okay. Next, we have the equipments or PEB design and drawings. So, equipments and PEB, that is pre-engineered buildings, these are designed by the supplier or manufacturer depending upon the process design as we discussed earlier. So, different equipments are processed, different equipments are designed and manufactured by them. They also do the PEB designing and drawings. So, these drawings are provided to the architect as well as the engineering design consultant, and upon their approval, they are further passed on to the contractors for starting the execution. Now, these drawings are needed by the architects as well as the engineering consultants so that they can plan the different areas that will be surrounding these equipments. So, depending upon the specific requirements and loading requirements, space requirements of these equipments, the spaces around them will be designed by the architect and engineering consultant. Next, we have the work order and agreement with client. Now, the purchase engineers from the supplier or manufacturer team will mainly look after the work order and agreement portion with the client. Now, this can be very tedious process because generally the industries tend to or plan to work for several years. So, all these equipments need to be maintained for a very long time or very long period of time. So, the work order and agreements are drawn in such a manner that the client as well as the supplier or vendor that is involved, they both are satisfied and it fits both the requirements and vision. So, the work order is drawn and the agreement is also designed so that the project or the exchange can take place. Next, we have the vendor and sub-agencies purchase orders. Now, this is the same case as we saw in the contractor, that the supplier or manufacturer can take the entire order from the client, but there are many different or small parts that go into the making of a large process machinery. So they need different types of vendors and sub-agencies so that they can purchase different materials or different parts from them. So now the purchase team or the design team from the supplier or manufacturer side will draw up the purchase orders from these vendors and sub-agencies as and when needed. Next, we have the FAT, installation, testing and commissioning. Now this is the most important role that the supplier and manufacturer team plays, that FAT. Now FAT is factory acceptance test. Some machines or some process equipments are so heavy that they cannot be inspected once they are delivered at the site. That is, no changes or no major changes can be done at the client side. So what the protocol is that the engineering or coordinator from the PMC team or the client team, the engineering design consultant, as well as the site engineer or coordinator from the contractor team will visit the supplier or manufacturer site so that they can do a test or inspect the machine at the vendor's site itself. So this is called factory acceptance test. Okay, so before accepting the equipment at the factory, this test is done, and once it meets the major specifications and norms that are needed by the client, after that the equipment is being shipped and delivered to the client site. Okay, so after the FAT, the installation comes in. So once the equipment or machine has been delivered at the site of the client, then the installation takes place. Now the installation will be done by the particular contractor. May it be an electrical equipment, then the electrical contractor, then mechanical, HVAC, whichever kind of machine is that. Okay, so the supplier or vendor will provide or will show how the installation is to be done, and the contractor will install it. After that, the testing and commissioning is done by the testing engineers of the supplier team. Now, once the installation is completed, the entire testing of the process equipment or process machinery is done in presence of, again, the design consultant, the PMC engineers, PMC client side engineers, and as well as the contractor side engineers. So this testing is witnessed, certain reports are drawn which are needed, and after that, once the supplier or vendor engineer explains the entire operation of the machine to these folks, then the machine is handed over, that is, the commissioning is done. At the time of commissioning, all the operating manuals, different types of warranties and guarantee cards, then different information of the machines, the parts involved in the machines, all of these documents are handed over to the client or the contractor, and once that is done, a document is signed by both the parties, that is the vendor and the client, that the testing and commissioning has been done and we have given this equipment to you. Okay, so this is the role of the supplier and manufacturer team. Finally, we have the project coordination, MOM, payment, and handover. Now, of course, coordination is needed at various stages, that once the client provides us with the requirements, then we start looking for different parts, we start manufacturing the machine, a certain time has to be taken for that. So the coordination is constantly done. MOM, the minutes of meeting, are recorded at various stages of the meetings that are done. Now the payment here is always decided in certain stages, an advance or 20 or 30% at this stage, and finally X amount after handing over or testing the equipment. So all of these payment terms are handled by the purchase team of the supplier and manufacturer side, and finally, as I explained, the handover is done at the client side. Also, there is a defect liability period that is served by the supplier or vendor, that is, a certain period of time is being provided to the client that for this time no defects or minimal defects will be there in my equipment or my machine, and if any problem do come up, then I will be there to solve it. So this period is called the defect liability period. So the supplier or vendor is also responsible for looking after the maintenance or operation of the machine smoothly during this period. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the video, as well as the end of all the 5 different types of categories that are involved in a mega project team. So we saw the different teams, like the client team, that is the PMC team. Then we discussed about the architects and interior designing team. Third category was the engineering design consulting team. The fourth category was the contractor team. And finally, in this video, we discussed about the fifth category, that is the supplier, manufacturer or vendor team. Okay. Thank you.
Hokidemi, shaping professionals for a better future. Hokidemi is aiming to be the world's largest learning platform for engineers and architects. Hokidemi will help you to develop your skills in project design and management, to become team leaders and project managers in mega structure projects. Hokidemi provides learning by high-quality video lectures in all sectors like power, industrial, commercial, institutional, residential, etc., based on 1,000 plus real projects done by our group on Hokidemi.com. To study in detail with books, drawings, articles, and catalogs, visit Hokicart.com. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel to stay updated on our latest contents.